So, Sonic Generations got a remaster. That surprised me, considering how lackluster Sonic Colors Ultimate was. I figured it'd never try again. But here we are. Sonic X Shadow Generations, a remaster of the 2011 game with a new game added on, Shadow Generations, whose story takes place alongside Sonic's. Yes, they made another Shadow the Hedgehog focused game using Sonic Generations as a template.
Yes, that does mean that there's a 10-year difference between Sonic and Shadow's history, but that does mean we get new stages lifted from games that Shadow was in, such as Bullet Station and Kingdom Valley, the more superior of the two Sonic 06 games. But for some reason, other than fan service, we also get Sunset Heights from Sonic Forces and Chaos Island from Sonic Frontiers.
But it wasn't in this game!
Regardless, we now have two games celebrating Sonic's long history. Firstly, Sonic Generations, a remaster of the game from 2011. Majority of it is the same, but there are many small changes that make it stand out in comparison. New dialogue, reanimated cutscenes, a sense of Mandela effect, and Chow. I love Chow. Like with Sonic Colors, you get what you paid for the first time. It's still Sonic Generations, but with the added bonus of switching control styles between the classic 2011 Generations and the new Frontiers style controls, where the right trigger is boost instead of X. This might be a deal breaker for some people who love Generations, but jumping from Frontiers control style back to classic after so long feels off, but the option is there if you prefer it.
And the other is Shadow Generations. And as I said, it uses Sonic Generations as a template, and its story takes place alongside Sonic's, but it goes in a completely different direction in terms of design, gameplay, and story.
Say what you will, but Sonic Generations did not have a story. Yes, it had a framework of which to showcase why Sonic and Company are in this white space. It wasn't much, but it did string together a series of events to highlight Sonic's history with 9 different zones, as well as rival bosses and main bosses like Silver and Egg Dragoon. Simple, yet harmless. Shadows, on the other hand, is a lot more intimate as it focuses on his past. Again. But with time travel involved, it opens up a whole new kind of leeches, with the return of Black Doom and Shadow experiencing mutations due to his alien DNA.
Now, I'm not going to go any further than that because I don't want to spoil much in the game's story. But believe me when I tell you this. This is, hands down, the best story told in a Sonic game. Yes, even better than Black Knight and Frontiers.
And I can't be the only one who got a kick out of this scene.
I found you, Shadow!
The Blue Hedgehog, of all places.
So like with Sonic Generations, we go back to where Shadow was mostly involved in the past as well as the future. Space Colony Arc from Adventure 2, Rail Canyon from Heroes, Kingdom Valley from 2006, Sunset Heights from Forces, and Chaos Island from Frontiers, all with 2 acts to speed through, interspersed with battles against the Bio Lizard, Metal Overlord, which is now the second time a Supersonic-only boss could be taken down in base form, Mephiles, and Black Doom.
Yes, this game is considerably shorter than Sonic Generations, but believe me, if you're one of those people who complain about the short level design of Sonic Forces, Sonic Team listened.
It cannot be overstated that this is the best level design we've seen in a long time. It does enough to translate the classic adventure style stages into the more recent booth style without losing any of the stage's charm or even original design. Even Chaos Island, an open zone from said game, incorporates a lot of the island's elements and hazards to make it just as, if not more fun to speed through as the original while using most of Shadow's new arsenal of abilities. But what about those alien mutations I mentioned earlier? Referred to as Doom powers, Shadow can utilize a series of new moves for battle and exploration, as well as his patented Chaos Control. While Doom Spear is used primarily for switches and stunning multiple enemies at once, Blast is more combat-centric, but allows you to use said enemy to reach higher areas. Doom Wing, Surf, and Morph to find new routes and collection keys. More on those later. Because of these new powers, they make Shadow Generations the most branched Sonic game ever. Yes, there will be the most optimal path to take for the fastest time and those S ranks, but you'll be using every power to find all paths available because of the versatility these new Doom powers provide. What's really interesting is that Act 1 is a full 3D stage while Act 2 is a side-scroller. With how Sonic switched up the core game design since Unleashed through Forces, neither one feels off from the other and you can still use the abilities given to you.
The problem is that while they're cool and unique, the latter three are a bit unwieldy, especially Moth with its swinging mechanic. And Wing... we'll get to that.
And going back to the use of Chaos Control for a second, this single ability is game-changing. Remember in Sonic Heroes how using Team Dark's Team Blast, say that 10 times fast, froze time and the in-game clock? Same thing. And yeah, a lot of its use is telegraphed by the level design to run across missiles and warp through these wormholes, but there's something special about being able to use Shadow's unique ability freely and accurately rather than just flying through part of the stage. And before anyone gets a little pissy about it, this is not a homing attack. This is the Chaos Snap. A homing attack cannot go through lasers. It's completely different.
Let me be clear, I cannot stress how fun it is to play a Shadow in this game. While most of his outings have considered him to be a Sonic clone or just have one or two abilities to make him stand out, the Doom powers and Chaos Control in this game make him an absolute beast to play as.
But getting back to how much it piggybacks off of Sonic Generations, after finishing a couple of stages and finding a boss gate, you're tasked to collect gate keys after finishing the Challenge Acts. But unlike Sonic Generations, who ask you to finish just 3 of the 30 challenges available, Shadow Generations wants you to finish every challenge to get the keys. Yes, there are only 20 of them compared to Sonic's 90, but it's still forced padding of an already short game.
And what I find annoying in comparing Sonic Generations to Shadow Generations is that in Sonic Generations you collected red rings to not only get 100% completion, but unlock skills, music and artwork. Shadow Generations is the same thing. Kind of. In each act and each challenge there are 3 collection keys to find, and you use them on the various chests you find in the Hob world.
And the colours aren't just for show. There are specific coloured keys to unlock music, art and lore about Sonic the Hedgehog. And these can be found from finding the various coloured chests hidden throughout the white space hub world, and this gives me a chance to gush about this. Instead of a vastly empty side-scroll map of zones and challenges, white space is now an open world hub similar to the Islands of Frontiers. While not as large and dangerous as Starfall Islands, or as colourful outside of the zone-themed areas, it's still fun to run around, use Doom powers to find hidden areas, look for chests, journal entries and scrap pieces to give to Allbot and Q-Bot. Oh yeah, there are zone-specific characters to talk to, including Omega and Big the Cat,
who apparently was on the arc during the events of Adventure 2. He needs to write a journal about his adventures. I think it could rival Sonic's.
It should be noted that I'm playing this on my new Xbox Series X, and good Gaia is this game gorgeous. Sonic Generations was running on the original Hedgehog engine, and even today it still holds up, even with the FPS boost both it and Sonic Unleashed received. But the Hedgehog engine 2, which was made for Sonic Forces onwards, puts it on a whole new level. Even the more cartoony stages like Grill Canyon look great when put next to the more realistic Kingdom Valley. Even White Space has more personality, with new gothic buildings to explore. But the award goes to these cutscenes. Look, Shadow has facial movements and more subtle animations than compared to... yeah. Even his sidestep, the freaking sidestep looks cool. Getting back to White Space for a minute, the problem I have with this hub world is the tedious nature it has with backtracking. You see, once you're done with a couple of zones, the location for the boss gate is available. Where is it? Just follow the marker and figure out how to get there on your own. Once found, the challenge gates appear and you have to travel back to complete them. Once done and you have the keys, then you can go back to the boss gate again and fight the boss. Once that's all done and you've finished every zone and every boss, you unlock the last Doom power and the final stage, Radical Highway.
Stop. Radical Highway? Why? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great stage, in fact one of the hardest stages of the entire game. But you double dipped on Sonic Adventure 2, where we already had the Space Colony arc. In fact, why isn't there a stage based on his own game from 2005? Like No Westopolis, Lethal Highway, Glyphic Canyon, or, you know, The Black Comet? You have all this music and lore from the Shadow the Hedgehog game from 2005, but no stage to highlight it in this Generations game? I mean, thematically it makes sense to have Radical Highway as it's the first stage and it encompasses his anger, his hate, his desire for revenge. But no game to represent his own game? Am I the only one getting mad at this?
So now we have 6 zones with 2 acts each, 20 challenges and 4 bosses, which is a reasonable 36 S ranks to collect. But that is a lie, because as soon as you defeat Black Doom, you unlock Doom Mode, which, when activated, unlocks the hard mode for the first 3 bosses and 10 additional challenges, bumping up the total to 49. But I'm still not done, because there is now a Doom Wing act for every single level. Yes, instead of a new character, you play as Shadow again, but with the Doom Wing ability activated, meaning you have to play through all 12 acts again with the Doom Wing for another 12 S ranks, bringing up the total to 61 S ranks. And now I'm getting to it.
I know the Doom Wing was highlighted a lot in the marketing for this game, because it's different, it's unique, it's striking, it's alien looking yet so natural and simple. But it's not even that good!
At best, I could describe it as a pseudo super transformation, because the rules are the same. Collect 50 rings and then hit the bumpers to activate it. And yes, using it will drain your rings. But apart from flying through the air while boosting, I don't feel any different compared to playing as Shadow regularly. Yes, he is invulnerable against all enemies, and the boost recharges when not in use, but flying straight doesn't do squat when there's elevated paths to take, and when you inevitably run out of boost mid-air, that's bye-bye. This should not be an entirely new act to play through. It should be an ability to utilize in the main stages like Supersonic, especially when there are obvious signposts alluding to paths you can only be take when using the Doom Wing in the main act. The 10 additional hard challenges and hard bosses may be padding out a game's length, but I can forgive that, as Sonic Generations had hard modes for all bosses, and it's only 10 extra challenges rather than making hard mode for all 20. This is just like the alternate scenario stages in Crash Bandicoot 4. A stage where you play as a new character such as Tana or Cortex for a while, and trigger a cutscene that explains why a certain event happened in the main stage. But then you play the rest of the main stage as Crash or Coco, effectively forcing you to play most of the same stage again, but treating it like it's an entirely new stage. I hated them there, and it's just as pointless as it is here. And the worst thing is that the final boss doesn't even have a hard mode, so it could have at least brought up the total to an even 62.
And I got them. I got every single S rank in Shadow Generations. And to be honest, this was just as easy, if not easier, than Sonic Generations. I got at least 90% of the S ranks in this game on my first try, because there is no perfect bonus in this game. You can still fail a few times and get the S rank. Because of that, I won't bore you with the top 7 hardest S ranks in this game, but the top 3 that gave me the most trouble.
Radical Highway Act 2. You all knew this was going to be here, the longest and most arduous stage of the lot. Free falls, rails, black warriors, toxic flying roads, giant beasts, and rotating paths. You don't play this stage normally at first, you play it with the Doom Wing, which trivializes all the hazards and death pits. Without it, you're at the mercy of one of the most intricately and deviously designed stages of the whole game. There is no point in a level where you can take a break. You need to know where every small and major shortcut there is to shave off mere seconds to finish this with the S rank. For example, there's one at the very start of the stage, and at the second beast, you have a small chance to skip it. After that, you hope to Gaia himself that you have enough boost at the end. Metal Overlord Hard. I originally was going to put Metalist Hard mode on here because of the required morph swings at the second half of the fight, and how easy it is to get hit by his shockwaves when trying to hit him like Star-Lord and Twilight Princess. But no, Metal Overlord was way worse. Firstly, it gives you rings, which is a telltale sign you're in for a rough ride when the other two refuse to give you that one ring security. On top of that, the elements of the stage have been altered to give you less rubble to attack with, more lasers to jump and deactivate, and less ramps to use to get up close and personal. Speaking of, why can't I jump off of these things when I need to? It's practically luck if pressing the jump button makes you launch off the damn thing. The best advice I can give you is that you don't miss a damn thing and hit metal as frequently as possible. Doing so will start Phase 2 before he even gets a chance to use Electric Tail on you. You're welcome. Beware of pillars that pop up hard. Surprised? Yeah, me too. But considering how everything else in this game was between easy to middling frustration, I would gladly replay all of that again just to never play this insufferable challenge ever again. It's not just that the pillars have been rearranged. It's not just that these pillars move faster than your top speed without boosting. And it's not just that some of these pillars have spikes on them that kill you faster than Mega Man. But it's all of that with this fucking wall jump section with a rising spike pillar. I'm not sure if it's me, the game, or the controller, but wall jumping in this game is just not as responsive as it is in Sonic Generations. If you make it out of there, there's another set of spikes above you and a box that you will accidentally bounce on and killing you. And when all is clear, at the end goal, it tries a surprise fuck you pillar. Seriously, fuck this challenge.
And that's it, right? All S-ranks completed to show the world for bragging rights. No, because I'm still not done with this game because this game has a completion quota to meet.
You need to get everything in this game for 100% completion. All art, all music, all lore, and all journal entries that are being carried by these flying balls. So I went back and got every single collection key in the 12 main stages and 20 challenges, totaling at 96 keys, and found every chest in the game. The map does a good job at showing you where they are, but not what the contents are. But for the life of me, I could not find the last 7 chests, and the map would not show me where they were, even in Doom mode. I had to resort to a guide and meticulously check off every single chest in the entire map to find the last 7. But wait, opening all the chests won't get you 100% because you need to find all 80 pieces of scrap metal for Orbit and Cubot hidden throughout the map. Something else I needed help with at the end because to goddammit, these are very well hidden. And finally, finishing all white space challenges both in regular and Doom mode. These challenges aren't hard, they're just frustrating, especially when you need to chase down a clock. Finishing them all nets you the last of the collectibles, and finally, you can bask in the glory of 2 100% markers in the game. And how long did it take me? 21 hours and 5 minutes, and I'm sure 6 of those hours was running around like a hedgehog with a weak bladder looking for the bathroom.
So in conclusion, regardless of my faults on the Doom Wing challenges, the chest, the backtracking, the scrap metal collecting, the damn Doom mode challenges, this is a good game. No, scratch that. This is a great game. Shadow Generation is one of the best Sonic games we've had in a long time that doesn't even star Sonic. Yes, Sonic Frontiers was good as well, but it had issues that were thankfully addressed in this game. And as an aside, if Sega were ever to remake Sonic Adventure, this is the game they should use as a template.
I've been personally writing a possible SA1 remake for a few years now, but with the release of both Sonic Frontiers and Shadow Generations, they're exactly what Sonic Team should take inspiration from if they ever going to remake that game.
I mean, what other game could Sega and Sonic Team possibly remake with the success of Sonic X Shadow Generations? No!
Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you did and subscribe for future videos. And if you really want to support the channel, you can by leaving a super thanks or becoming a YouTube member. Thanks again everyone, and as always, I shall see you all next time.